morning, children. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing good and is gearing up for the second cycle test. Yes, which is going to start from Friday. And for you, this time for the second cycle test, we'll be having only portion from biological science. Okay, sixth standard. I hope you would have all seen your portions and schedule, right? Okay. Okay, so far we have finished two chapters in physical science. One is fiber to fabric, and the next is, what is the next chapter? Sorting materials into groups, right? Both the chapters were very interesting and very easy. Yes, isn't it? They were interesting and easy. Were they? Yes. Okay. Fiber to fabric, as it's about clothing, it's about what we are wearing. So something when you know about the things which you use in your daily life, it's interesting, right? Sorting materials is a very basic thing which I think everybody does at home. Basically, when we segregate our things, that itself is sorting materials, right? So both the things, both the chapters were interesting and easy. Now next chapter, we are moving on to the third chapter. I mean, third chapter in physical science, but it is the fifth chapter in your course book. Separation of substances. Okay, so we are going to learn about separation of substances. When I say separation of substances, what comes to your mind? My volume is full only. I think you have to increase the volume in your device because it's full here. So separation of substances. Do you think separation of substances is important? Does it play a vital role? Okay, matter comes to mind. Okay, why matter comes to mind? Okay, so my question, which I said, which I asked is separation of substances important? Yes, it is important. Should we write in classwork notebook? Yes, you are supposed to write the content in your classwork notebook. The content which I have sent in your Google Classroom. Chapter 3 is question answers and chapter 4 is question answers. You're supposed to write in your science classwork. This you can write it in your common revision notebook. Or if you have a separate notebook for each subject in which you're taking the notes, then you write in that. Okay, or if you're having a single notebook for all the subjects, then please take down the notes in that. Okay, yes. So yes, separation of substances is very important because in our everyday life we often have to separate and we have to remove certain materials from some other substance. Then only it will be useful to us. If we don't separate, it will not be useful to us. Okay. These separations are very common, which everybody would have seen at home. Your mummy doing it, your grandma doing it, or even you will be doing it. Okay, so now we are going to learn about these separation of substances. Okay, first we will see what is the importance of separation of substances. Okay, why is it important? Separation of substances from the components. Why is it done? For what reasons? Done to remove. It is done to remove impurities or harmful components. So at times there are things that have harmful components. So we have to definitely separate those harmful components. You cannot consume that, or you cannot have that food, or you cannot make use of the thing with the harmful component. So the harmful component has to be removed. Yes. Like for example, for this one, to remove harmful components, rice and pulses. Rice and pulses, when we buy, definitely you would have seen your grandma or mommy, before she starts cooking the food, before she starts cooking rice, she'll make sure that there are no stones, because there are chances of small stones or insects which will get mixed up with the rice and pulses. Yes, so we have to remove those things. You cannot cook the food with the stones, with the insects, right? So that's what washing of the pulses or washing of the rice is done, which will eliminate the insect, which will eliminate the tiny particles. But stones, definitely we will have to pick it up with our hand. So we have to remove those harmful substances. So here separation of substance to remove the harmful substances is done. Okay, so to remove the stones from rice and pulses, right? Then only the food will be safe for consumption, right? Similarly, water is also purified to make it fit for drinking. Yes. So from raw water also the harmful components are removed during the process of purification. Yes. So to remove harmful components, separation of substances is important. Okay. Next, to obtain useful components. To obtain useful components. These are the reasons why separation of substances has to be carried out. Okay. So to obtain useful components like um, milk. From milk, butter is taken, ghee is taken, ghee is extracted, buttermilk is extracted, curd is made, right? So we are getting a useful component from the main component, right? We are getting useful components. And similarly, petroleum. Petroleum, it's a mixture of different substances and it is distilled to get useful substances like petrol. It is also distilled to obtain kerosene, diesel, right? So crude oil. From crude oil, it will be the raw form is crude oil, and then it is distilled to get the useful substances through different processes, through different methods of separation. The substances are separated from the crude oil. Okay, so we get diesel, we get petrol, we get kerosene, we get petroleum jelly. All these things are separated from the crude oil. Okay, so second objective to carry out separation of substances is to obtain useful components. Yes, is everyone clear? Yes. Okay. The third reason to obtain to obtain pure components. So pure metals are separated. Uh, Pure metals. There are metals which exist in pure form. Those pure metals are separated. Okay, so pure metal components are obtained. How they are obtained? There are few metals which exist in their pure form, and they are separated from the natural mixed form called ores. So from the ores, the pure metals are obtained. So this is one of the reason for to carry out the separation of substances. So these are the three important reasons why separation of substances has to be carried out. To remove unwanted components or harmful components, to obtain useful components, to obtain a pure component from the ores. Okay. So these are the reasons. Next, one second. Okay. Now next, moving on to the next topic, to know what is pure substance and what is the mixture. So now we saw that why is it important to carry out the process of separation of substances. What are the three important reasons to carry out the separation of substances? One is to get to remove the harmful components. Second, to obtain useful components. Third, to obtain pure components. Okay. Now we will move on to see what is meant by pure substance. What is meant by pure substance? See, a substance which is made up of only one kind of particle. A substance which is made up of only one kind of particle is called a pure substance. It's called a pure substance. Okay, a substance which is made up of only one kind of particle is known as pure substance. For example, sugar, salt. These substances, they exist in crystalline form, in the form of crystals. Okay, but they exist as one kind of particle. So all the particles, when you just carry, you can see they'll be all similar. They'll be all crystals, right? Sugar and salt. Okay, so when you crush sugar or when you crush salt, you keep on breaking, you will find that they'll become smaller particles. When you keep continuing the task of crushing the salt and sugar, they will become smaller particles. Okay, they'll just become smaller. You will not find something else from the sugar and salt crystals. You keep on crushing, you will get only sugar and salt. They exist in crystalline form and they exist in pure the pure state. So they are called, these substances which are made up of only one type of particle are called pure substances. Distilled water is pure substance, salt is pure substance, sugar is pure substance. Okay. Now, contradictory to this is mixture. Mixture is a substance which is a combination of more than two types of particles. So I'll write it here. If I write here, you can see mixture. Can you see if I write here? Oh, just send a yes. Okay. Thank you. Now stop messaging. Now next, uh, mixture. Mixture can also be called as an impure substance because it's the opposite to this. Okay, this is pure substance. This is impure substance. Impure substance, they are a combination or is a mixture of two or more substances. It's a combination of two or more substances. Okay, these substances, those particles are called components. Okay, they are called components or constituents. Constituents. Okay, important point. They are called components or constituents of the mixture. Okay. So what is a pure substance? A pure substance is a substance which is made up of only one kind of particle. Okay. Example, sugar, salt, distilled water. Impure substance or mixture, they are a combination, they are impure substances. The impure substance is a mixture of two or more substances, two or more, we don't call them particle, we tell them more, two or more substances, and these substances, those two or more substances are called components or constituents of the mixture. This is a very important 1 mark question. What is the substance of a mixture called? They are called components of a mixture or constituents of a mixture. Okay. Example. This is the example for mixture. Okay. Example for mixture. Example, milk. Or now milk, it has milk, has water, right? Am I right? Then seawater. Seawater has water, salt content. Yes, salt content. Then soil. Soil. Soil is a mixture of clay, is a mixture of sand, uh, water, air. Air is also an example of mixture. Air is a mixture of gases. You have learned it, right? In 4th standard, 5th standard, you would have learned when you learned about air. Air is a mixture of gases. That means it is a combination. It has different components. It has oxygen, it has carbon dioxide, nitrogen. Yes, right? You would have all learned. Do you all remember? Air is a mixture of gases. A very important 1 mark question. Yes. So you can write air also as an example. Okay. So mixture is impure substance. Impure substances is a mixture of combination of two or more substances, and these substances are called components. You cannot see. Is everyone facing the same problem? No. See, if you alone are facing the problem, then please immediately log out and go and search a place where you get good network coverage and sit over there and connect immediately, okay, to the meeting. Okay, fine. So now I hope you all understood the difference between pure substance and mixture. This is a very important definition, and you should know the example and objective questions, 1 mark questions can be asked from these definitions. Okay, so this is very important in this chapter. Okay, yes. Okay, now mixtures are again classified into two types. There are two types of mixtures. So we will see that. So we will see that pure substances are over, mixture is over. Now we will see what are the two types of mixture. Every day, please make it as a habit to finish your classwork and do your homework regularly. Spend time, maybe fix a time after 6 o'clock and dedicatedly practice writing, practice reading. Okay, don't push up things to a single day like weekend, Saturdays and Sundays we will finish all these things. No. Okay, every day make it as a habit to write your classwork, to learn, to read the chapter, to learn the question answers, to prepare for your exam. Okay, if you start doing it, definitely in a month it will become a habit. If you push everything to the weekend, then you will not have time to spend time with your family, or you will not have your own time. Okay, so plan accordingly and do things. Yes. Now we are going to see what are the types of mixtures. So we saw what is pure substance, what is mixture. Now what are the types of mixture? First one. First one is homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture It's a mixture where the components cannot be seen separately. Components cannot be seen separately. Okay, those mixtures are called homogeneous mixture, where you cannot see the components separately. So in this mixture, for example, in a mixture of salt and water, okay, you take a tumbler, fill in with water, H2O. What is H2O? This is chemical formula for water. You add in few crystals of salt, use a spoon, you stir. After few minutes or few seconds, you find tumbler with water and salt dissolved in it, right? So in a mixture of salt and water, we cannot see the particles of salt with our naked eye. You have mixed the crystals of salt here in the this is the same jar. Okay, in one jar or in one tumbler, you are mixing salt, and you will find that you cannot make out it has salt until and unless you drink it. Yeah, sugar and water. While making lemonades, can you differentiate? Yeah, this is where you have the lemon pulp. Here you have the sugar, and here is the water. No, when we stir, it gets mixed up. It gets dissolved, and they become a mixture where you cannot see the components separately. Yes, ORS, oral rehydration solution, juice, all these things, milk, tea. When mummy prepares a tea, can you tell, yeah, this is the amount of tea powder in the cup of tea, or this is the amount of quantity of milk in the cup of tea, or the ratio of water? Can you drink and tell the ratio of water and tea? Definitely, when tea is prepared, they'll add few ml of water. Okay, without mixing water, they are not going to prepare the tea. So while drinking tea, coffee, or boost, whatever, you cannot tell that this is the ratio of water and milk. So what I'm trying to tell is that is a mixture, that is a homogeneous mixture where you cannot see the components separately. Okay, so you cannot make out that this is the ratio of the mixture of the components. So in a homogeneous mixture, the components cannot be seen separately. Okay, tea is an example, juice is an example, air is an example. Air is a mixture. Can you tell, yeah, here I have oxygen, here, see, I have 2 percentage of carbon dioxide here, I have 78 percentage of nitrogen here? No, we cannot. Oh, you make tea on your own? Very good. Good. You have come to 6th standard. By this time, you should know to do basic things. Okay, good, good. But don't do anything without your parents' permission. Okay, so I hope you have understood what is homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture with the components cannot be seen separately. Now, opposite to this is heterogeneous mixture, the second type of mixture. Heterogeneous mixture. Now, this is totally opposite to this. You can see the components easily. Components can be seen easily. Components can be seen easily, right? For example, sand. You take or soil. You take soil, or you will find particles of sand. You'll find particles of clay. You'll find pebbles. You'll have stones. Then insects will be there, right? So you can see the particles easily. Then rice when it is mixed, when it has stones, insects, they are example of heterogeneous mixture. You can see easily that there are particles of stones, there are insects in the grains, right? Yes. So that is what is heterogeneous mixture. Like what I told you here, you take a glass and put water and add salt to it, you stir, you'll find that the salt gets dissolved and you cannot make out. So you cannot see the component easily. Similarly, here you take another glass, fill in with water, add in a spoon of soil. Okay, add in a spoonful of soil and mix it using a spoon, stir it, mix it well. After mixing, if you leave it aside, you will see that the heavier particles will settle down at the bottom and the lighter particles will float on the top. Okay. So here you can clearly, after some time, you can clearly make out, yeah, the heavier particles which are settling down at the bottom will be stones. Okay. And lighter particles will be, fine particles will be floating here. So you can tell, yeah, the clay is floating here. The dust is floating on top. Stone is at the bottom. Right? Then another example is mixture of oil and water. You mix oil and water. What will happen? You stir it, after some time, oil will be on the top forming a separate layer. Water will be at the bottom. Isn't it? Right? So you can see separately, you can see easily the different components. Yes? Fruit salads are example of heterogeneous mixture. You will have different fruits, so you can make out the type of fruits, right? So the definition is that in a homogeneous mixture, the components cannot be seen separately. Okay, it's a mixture in which all the components are evenly distributed throughout the mixture, and that's what makes a homogeneous mixture. Example: tea, juice, water, air. Heterogeneous mixture, this is a mixture where these components can be seen easily. Okay, so there will be uneven or non-uniform distribution of substances, which will make the components to easier for us to see. Okay, which will be separated from them. Okay, so this is what is heterogeneous mixture. For example, mixture of oil and water. Fruit salad is an example of heterogeneous mixture. Rice mixed up with pulses or stones is an example of heterogeneous mixture. So this is all about mixture. So in the next class we will learn about the methods of separation. So far we saw why is it important to carry out the separation of substances? Because it will help us to obtain useful substances, it will help us to remove unwanted harmful substances and to get the pure substances. Then we saw the definition of pure substance. Pure substance is a substance that is made up of only one kind of particle, and mixture is a combination of more than 2-3 components, right? Okay. And there are two different types of mixture: homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. So mixture is made up of 2 or more dash. A mixture is made up of 2 or more dash. What is the answer? The answer is on the board. Components. Very good. A mixture is a combination of 2 or more components. Very good. It is made up of 2 or more components. Seawater is a mixture of dash and dash. Seawater is a mixture of dash and various dash. Seawater is a mixture of water and salt. Very good, very good, very good. Water and salt. Okay, so any doubts so far? Till this, the other things will continue tomorrow. And today you can go through the textbook. Okay, go through the textbook pages. Okay, good. No doubts. Very good. So keep learning, keep practicing, improve your handwriting. There are few who are writing very neatly. I want everybody to write neatly. Okay, definitely everybody can write neatly if you practice. And please do read everything on a daily basis. Okay, do your homeworks properly. Thank you, children. We'll meet tomorrow. Till then, take care. Stay safe.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, பிள்ளைங்கிட்ட கொஞ்சம் பேசிக்கிறேன் ma'am.
Okay.
ரெண்டு பேர் யாரோ உள்ள வந்திருக்காங்க மேம். சமீரா, தமினி, உஷா 2 பேர்ல வராங்க மேம். அவங்க பேர்ல வர சொல்லுங்க. டிஃபரெண்ட் நேம்ல வராங்க. சமீரா, தமினி, உஷா.
Samira, Tamini, Usha, please come with your name, ma, because ma'am is taking attendance. If you are not coming with your name, then ma'am will not be able to find out who are you and she'll mark you as absent. So please change your name. As you enter into the meet, there is an option to rename. So rename and put your name, okay? Don't put any emojis and all, just your name, okay? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, children.
Ma'am.